Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. YouTubers on the rise, reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends. But Long boys blues, 1975.
Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975, and welcome to 10 great arcade conversions on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Now you're probably saying, hang on a minute Dave, haven't you done this, in fact, twice before? Yes, I have. I've done my favourite 10 arcade conversions on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. That list does not change. I've also done another 10 great games on the ZX Spectrum, arcade ports that is, that, was very difficult for me to pick between that and the first list. Now here's the thing, there are so many arcade ports on the ZX Spectrum from all the arcade companies out there. We're talking, Taito, Atari, Sega, I mean you name it, there is a game from one of those systems, Data East, on Sinclair ZX Spectrum, often handled by different software companies such as US Gold, were a popular one for them. Obviously Ocean, Imagine, there is just a wealth of arcade conversions on the Spectrum, and as it being my first machine as a kid, and as the arcades being such an important experience to me, particularly when we went on holiday and stuff like that, I always dreamed of being able to play these games at home. For the limitations of the Spectrum, initially 48K. Think about what 48K is. Most thumbnails on the internet are bigger than that. But for the limitations of the 48K, some people managed to perform, amazing feats of, well, quite frankly, magic out of the machine and port these beloved arcade machines to the home. Now, I want to say that you had to use your imagination as a kid, which was a lot easier as a kid, I would say, to make it sort of fill the gaps of the arcade. But in some cases that simply wasn't true. In some cases, regardless of the limitations, yes, in most cases colour was non-existent, sound was non-existent, graphics were hugely simplified, speed and stuff like that took a sacrifice, but there were still games that did play, feel and look like the arcade machine. So the reason I want to cover another 10 of these is, what with Raspberry Pis getting around there and getting out there, and the Spectrum being a preserve of mainly the United Kingdom, Australia as well, New Zealand, places like that, but not in the North America side of things. Obviously the collaboration, the Sinclair Timex machine that came out over there was shit, basically. It had very, very little software of its own and was not compatible with, pretty much all of, the software that we got over here. So basically, if you had one of those machines, you're lucky now, because they're like rockin' horse shit. But if you had one back then you weren't going to get any of these great games, these great arcade conversions, and the chances are you didn't even know these arcade games were coming out on, the machine. So that's the point of this video. The people out there, who have Raspberry Pis because I always hark on about it to my North American friends who have Spectrum emulators on there. These are some more arcade machines, by companies like Sega and stuff like that, that you might not know are on the ZX Spectrum and play pretty well. So let's get into this. Where to begin? Let's start with Ghosts and Goblins, obviously an arcade machine by Capcom, released in, was it 1985, and ported to the Spectrum. Oh, there we go. In 1986 by Elite Systems. Obviously your bird is nicked, you are Arthur the Knight, you go after her, various stages, and yeah, this is amazing. Now, it's quite old, even by Spec standards, so you got to look past the graphics, although to me, because I owned a Spectrum, they look amazing. Dagger, best weapon in the game, but I still think it looks good. But yeah, it's not about what's outside that counts, it's about what's inside that counts, and this game nails it. When I say nails it, I mean it's very accurate. You take one shot, you lose your armor. No, I don't want the lance. Jump. But yeah, when I say nails it, I mean that, for starters. Ooh, being balls-horrifically hard. So I would definitely recommend this. Yes, there is a sequel, which you could argue is far more competent or impressive port of, well, the sequel arcade game, but whee! There's just something incredibly impressive about this, and it was one of the first games I bought with my own money, and loved it. I don't think I ever got past level 3. I don't think I know anyone who ever got past level 3. You're about to see why, but oh balls. But yeah, this is a fantastic port of a fantastic arcade game, and once again shows, which is why I'm doing these lists, that the Specky could more than handle, you know, arcade ports if done by the right people. My voice keeps going funny, I do apologise about that, and capture the true feeling and the meaning of the arcade machine. I just want to get to that bit before we move on to the next one to show you. Shizen, didn't want that. It's all in here. It's all in here. Balls, and is incredibly hard. We'll try that again. Okay, last go. Don't let the fact that I'm not getting very far put you off, because, I mean, look up videos on it and you'll see that each stage is represented. Yoink! Oh no! Ooh! The controls are so tight. That sounded really awkward when I say it like that. You look at that! Balls! Right, you go. Little demon dude, there's a trick where you can get to the edge of the screen. There we go. Saucy! That's probably the first time I've ever done that in ages, coming back to playing this game. But yeah, like I said, this is an absolutely fantastic port. My head's far bigger than my body. Of an amazing arcade machine. Anyway, on to the next game. Next we have Spy Hunter, the Sinclair ZX Spectrum, original arcade game by Bally Midway, but ported to the home systems, and in this case the Spectrum, in 1985. Basically, it's a scrolling shoot 'em up, but in vehicular form. There's a little cheat you can do on the Spectrum. Just stay in the back of your truck, your weapons truck. Now, you've got machine guns, which you activate by pressing fire and forwards, because these are your trucks, your weapons, and this is the missile, which you will need. I'm not sure how to access that, to shoot a helicopter, but basically you have an oil slick, which you press left in fire, ooh, which you use to stop those guys, because they got, like, you know, pins on their pins, razors on their wheels. You get a smoke screen, which will also destroy the people behind you. You press right and fire, there's an oil slick. And yeah, so this is a pretty accurate port of the arcade game, and I love the arcade game, so there we go, look at that. So yeah, I mean, the fact that you could cram all this into the Spectrum, particularly back then when it was really old. Oh shit, no, we'll get you. It just blew me away, and it was a machine that I loved. I never forgot going into arcades and hearing the music, you know, the dun 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 dun. Look at that. Dun 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 dun. Yeah, sorry about that. But yeah, you know, to get to play this, there's the missile. Have I got the missile? I think I've already got the. Oh fuck it. See, look, I've got the full complement of shit in the bottom right hand corner. What's this? Oh, you can turn into a boat. But yeah, it's all here. You got your time limit. You go up the screen. You shoot them. You come to bosses, which are helicopters. Takes you past the boat section there. And yeah, it is basically James Bond. Shoot 'em up car form. And again, you know, this didn't really need my brain filling in much. This was a bloody close, accurate port of the arcade machine, and it looked amazeballs. I'm going slow so I don't fuck this up. See, bridge out, right? So yeah, I mean, this was, oh bollocks. I'm terrible. The point I wanted to make about, you know, ports on the arcade coming back to the Spectrum, why they were such a big deal, was our favourite machines coming home, and they were, you know, at home. It was Spy Hunter. So yeah, and this, like I said, is a really, really competent version. I think it's better than the NES one. I don't mean to start Playground Wars. Of course, I'm going to say that in 10 grade. Oh bollocks! Couldn't kill him because I haven't got the rocket launcher, the missile. But yeah, obviously I'm going to say that in 10 great, you know, Spectrum ports because I love the Spectrum. But look it up, honestly, I think this is a better port. And I think while we're at it, let's really flick a wet towel on some people's nuts. I think it's better than the Commodore version. Brilliantly accurate version of the arcade. Very little slowdown, tense, challenging, graphically pretty good again for the time. And yeah, that's why it made this list. Spy Hunter. I definitely recommend you check this one out. This is Alien Syndrome, precursor to Alien Storm, and released in the arcades by Sega in 1986. Heavily inspired by bollocks. No, not bollocks. HR, Giga, and Aliens. You've only got to see the poster art to see how much it resembled Giga's Aliens. And yeah, kind of gross, slimy aliens. They've invaded a space station. You have to go and rescue all your buddies, or rescue a certain amount of them before you can leave. You can upgrade your weapons, the aliens will change, and you will fight bosses. It's balls hard, and with the exception of, it's the 48K version, so this was, as I said, ported to the Spectrum and other machines by Ace. It's 48K version, so sound is limited. But graphically, it does a pretty decent impression of the arcade machine. You have limitations with the scrolling, which really doesn't bother me. And look at it. It looks like Alien Syndrome. Like I said, go in certain rooms, access the map to see where your buddies are, find the weapons, get the best weapon. There you go, map top left, get the best weapon. Don't fucking lose it, because you will need it. Like I said, it's very challenging and graphically really quite nice for an earlier Spectrum game. And basically back then everyone was fighting hammer and toe, weren't they, to license anything by Sega. Oh, but yeah, weapons. I don't know where the weapons are. Weapons, well, we're going, we don't need weapons. Bollocks, we do. There you go, got a little drone. Have I got a little drone? I don't know. Right, you got time, bottom right. Time limit is quite tight, but yeah. Basically, yoink. No, not basically yoink. It's Gauntlet in space. I mean, what's not to love about that? It's probably more forgiving in Gauntlet as well, to be perfectly honest. Right, obviously, these aren't the only enemies we're encountering. They will change from very level to level. How many people do I need to get? Where does it say? Where does it say? Comrades? Oh, that many? That's bloody loads. If I'd known all these bastards were on board, I just would have fucking got out of Dodge. Gone to a nice space station with like Mac and Me on it, or E.T. or something. Yoink. Hello. There you go. See, every time I collect one of them, it goes down at the bottom. Anyway, I think you get the idea. I'm going to get one more. Oh, no, I'm going to get two more. Oh, I'm going to die. Yeah, I think you get the idea. But Alien Syndrome, it's a really decent representation and port of the arcade machine. Like I said, Gauntlet in space with aliens. What's not to love? On to the next game. This is Pac-Mania, released in the arcades by Namco in 1988 and ported to the Spectrum amongst other systems by Grand Slam Entertainment in 1988. There you go, you got your level select. How do you update Pac-Man? Simple, you keep it pretty much true to form. So it's an isometric 3D version of Pac-Man. Collect the pills to clear the screen, different mazes with different sort of themes and stuff like that. Get a power pill, which means you can eat the enemy, and you've got jump. Look, see, you got jump. And the fact that you've got a coloured sprite in this just blows my mind. Obviously, same thing, if they're, you know, in a darker colour, you can eat them. Well, I don't know. That's got to be legal. What's it called when you eat the dead? Anyway, as you can see in this, look, the eyes go back to the centre and it respawns as a ghost. The dead are pack animals. Who knew? I certainly did not. But yeah, I mean, obviously, once again, it's in the right hands of Spectrum. You're not going to aim for arcade perfection. You simply can't with the limitations of the machine. But the point I want to make with these videos is this is bang on the money. It is, you know, what Pac-Mania is. It's a 3D isometric version of Pac-Man, and there we go, shit, with, you know, added extra features. Who would have thought that a jump alone would make such a difference? It's got lovely 128K sound and music, well, at least to me, but then hey, if you're watching this video, you like Spectrum stuff, and it looks the part. It really does. Jump, hey, a little bit of attribute clash, but if you don't like attribute clash, then oh, you don't like the Spectrum, man. You're dead inside. So yeah, again, an absolutely amazing port that shows that Spectrum really could punch above its weight and deliver games on far more, you know, technically superior systems. Anyway, I'm just going to eat these fuckers first. Hey! Kind of creepy though, you can eat them, but not their eyes. Anyway, on to the next game, methinks. This is Operation Thunderbolt. It's the sequel to Operation Wolf. This was released in the arcades by Taito in 1989 and on the Spectrum in 1989 also. This time, it's simultaneous 2-player if you want, which is a pretty good feat. Impressive feat. And it's got these amazing into the screen sections. Shoot the health when it drops down, collect clips, kill everyone around, and use your rocket when you have to take out the bad guys. This is a brilliant port. It shows that once again the Specky can punch way above its weight. I will say, it's balls horrifically hard. It's well hard. You can see my grenades, my life, and my rockets bottom left. One rocket seems to take everyone out. It's your go-to one-fix-all cure. But yeah, this is brilliant. I mean, where do you go after Operation Wolf, which is one of my favourite arcade ports on the Spectrum anyway? Granted, this is easier with 2 players, I'm not going to lie. But you do this. You do simultaneous 2-player, which is a massively impressive feat. And this is one of the better home ports of the lot, I would like to say as well. So yeah, boom. Oh, I'm out of rockets. Shouldn't have got too frisky with the rockets, should I? But like I said, it's balls hard, but it mixes it up and has all the levels of the arcade. The fact that I love this in the arcade, not quite as much as Operation Wolf, then that obviously I got to play at home absolutely blew me away. You know, it looks primitive, but once again, it's a solid port of a fucking solid game, and shows that, you know, nothing was off limits for ports on the Sinclair ZX Spectrum. Right, I recommend this one, I really do. To the next game, methinks. Oh, what's that help? There we go. This is Buggy Boy. It's released by Elite in 1988 on the Spectrum, but released in the arcade originally in 1985 by Tatsumi. It's an off-road racer where you drive a dune buggy around a certain select number of courses. I think it's 5. Right, let's get into this. I love this game because it tries something so different. It tries to be really bold. Your sprite is absolutely massive, and as you're about to see, is coloured in. Let's go with off-road. It's coloured in, and there's no attribute class. Look, you're absolutely massive. Now you could argue, this still blows me away. You could argue, you've got gears, right? You could argue that it's kind of sluggish, you know. Well, it's kind of like Outrun, which is the technical feat that it is. For me, just blows me away, and that's why I don't think it's by any means, you know, incredibly slow and unplayable, but yeah, it's graphically absolutely fantastic. It really shows that they were trying to, you know, well, impress and punch above their weight. You know, basically it's a slalom race, you know, and you avoid the obstacles, go through the flags, brake, shit, and explode. And even the explosion is colour. Look at the way the undulation works when the road and stuff moves around. But yeah, this as a kid, I mean, I love the arcade machine, but this as a kid, change gear, there we go, blew me away. I literally never seen a racer on the Spectrum try to do this, like, you know, the colour and stuff. So yeah, this is one I really do recommend. I mean, it helps if you're like me, which is you actually thought Outrun was really, you know, like, it didn't deserve the criticism it's got, or it received at the time, whereas, oh, don't go off the road there, it's into the drink and you'll die. But yeah, this, to me now, this still impresses me, and as it comes to, you know, arcade conversions, I really do recommend on the Spectrum. This is one that definitely punches above its weight, and shows you that, you know, like, look what you can do. Hey, I got air. Man, there we go, extended time. Obviously my track is top left of the screen. Controls are really nice. The road is really sort of littered with obstacles. Well, hey, it's an off-road racer, but it's really playable and really nice. He says, and he blows up. Buggy Boy on ZX Spectrum. That's why this is in this list of great arcade games I recommend, because yeah, it's just something else to behold on, you know, as soon as he works out how to drive, that is me. Yeah, something to behold on, you know, the humble old Specky. As I said, I don't want to repeat myself again, with the size of that huge sprite. Right, let's try another one. Oh, funky music. This is Ghouls and Ghosts on ZX Spectrum, released in the arcades by Capcom in 1988. Follow-up to Ghosts and Goblins, which you saw earlier on in this video, but this video list, I should say. But I had to do this because this is a fantastic achievement. Released by US Gold in 1989, but this version was programmed by Software Creations. Right, let's get into it. Yeah, like I said, there's so much more in this over the previous version. That's not to say I prefer it as such. I'm just saying that this is an amazing port. Jump is up as well, Z, crouch. I mean, you've got the weather, you've got music. I mean, this is the 1 to 8K version, but you've also got this. Look, you get the map. Right, 1, no, 0. There you got map. See? So you're half of my weapons in the bottom middle, my lives to the bottom right, and yeah. I mean, it's a small screen, but you got sound. Same sort of thing. You're going to look at this and say it's limited, but you've got to remember the size of the game, which is why I put it in this video, because it's another example of, oh shit, I've turned into a duck. No, it's not another example of, oh shit, I've turned into a duck. Of, oh god. You know, the game is very much the arcade game. The feel is in here, the look is in here, you know, in all this monochromic 8-bit glory, and it's balls horrifically hard. Can I? Yeah, you see, you can fire up, you can fire down, you can die. Yeah, there'll be weather at some point. Whether or not I get that, see what I did. No, I'm not going to get that. I don't know. Is another thing, but yeah. Again, monochromic, but you've got some elements of colour. Oh, should I go up? Let's go up. No. Oh, that was even going to try and turn me into a duck. But yeah, it's just an incredible achievement. It's why I love this machine? Who said that games like this are off limit? Sexy! My night skills then, not this game. Although, oh, no you don't. The game is sexy. Getting your direction, it takes a little bit getting used to, because you don't have an up, you have a jump and an up. But that's a small thing to complain about. No you don't. Yay! I love this game, I really do. Of course I do, it's on the Spectrum. Can I get him? Oh, guillotine, guillotine. Oh! No! Woohoo! Use that invulnerability, Dave, use that invulnerability. The scrolling is super smooth and delish. That's right, I said delish. This is probably one of the better 8-bit ports as well. You don't count the Master System version in that. I'm talking about the home computers. The micros, although I hate that phrase. I do like that ding 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 sound. Why was my voice still high pitched at that point? So like I said, a lot of it's missing, but you still get to work out what bits you are in the arcade, or whereabouts you are in the arcade, I should say. Oh, that was lucky. Right, hey, no you don't. I prefer the zombies from the original, but yeah, so it is clearly a step up above the original port, which was by a different company, but at the same time, remember that that was a good 4 or 5 years prior to this. Oh, those guillotine effects are amazing! Oh, bollocks. One more go. But yeah, like I said, that's why this is in this list, as well as Ghosts and Goblins. I guess that's a kind of testament to the gameplay style that was, you know, these arcade games, or what Capcom did, I should say. Controls are super tight. Once you get used to up being jump, and, well, both things, the controls are, look at that, wielding death from above and below. The controls are bloody super tight. Can I get him? Oh, I got him. Yay! Of course I did, I'm a knight of the round table. Am I that Arthur? I don't know. Or am I Arthur Spooner? Oh, to the next game, methinks, but this is amazing. I really recommend you try this. This is Arkanoid Revenge of Doe, or as I like to say, Revenge of Doe. It's released in '87 by Taito and ported to the home computers in this country by Ocean in '89. Basically, it's an update of Breakout. It's a sequel to the original Arkanoid, which is also a great game. I preferred, well, I loved Arkanoid in the arcades, but the reason I prefer this version, the port, is it tries a little bit, you know, different with the graphics. They're kind of shaded and they're mixed up. They may look a bit sort of, I'm blending in, but you get used to it. But so you just got left, right, and launch your ball. Keep the ball in motion, destroy the blocks. The silver blocks take a pounding. You have to clear all the blocks before your entrance appears. Sometimes you can get bonuses like laser turrets and stuff like that. Bigger bat, 3 balls, awkward, or the ability for them to stick to your bat. Sometimes you can get a bonus where it just opens a skip screen on the other side of the screen that lets you go through levels. Ball speeds up, ball slows down. It's hard. It's very hard. It's just a pure reaction game. But, like I said, I love this version. I like the original version. But, I don't know, something about the shaded graphics just worked for me. I don't know what fire is, so there we go, bonus. Oh! And I missed them all. Oh, shizen. Again, never said I was any good at it, but just the 1 to 8K music and, you know, the fact that that's launches it. The fact that it just plays, there you go, slow down. Plays so tight and nice, considering it's just left and right in hit. Did that block just respawn? You get through all of it. Aliens will come down. They affect the path of your ball and stuff. But yeah, again, I like the shaded graphics, and I think this is graphically really pleasant and nice. And yeah, simple. You know, update. I love it when they did this in the arcades. Update classics. I mean, the fact that you can upgrade your weapons, which you're not seeing much of lately, is just balls. Hey, balls, no pun intended. Just amaze balls. Oh, double pun. Right. But yeah, it was a very close call to put this in or the original one. Oh, he's still got 2 in play. And fucking McEnroe. Bigger bats. Size is important. Even though he just drops the ball. Yeah, I'll shut up in a minute. Right, one more go. But yeah, this is just a great example of simplicity. Give me a laser gun. That is fun. But the problem with a laser gun is you get... I mean, this would be a straightforward conversion, wouldn't it? Regardless of the graphics. As long as you get the controls right and the content, then can't do any wrong. But the laser gun, that always lets you, like... You want to sit there and waste as many blocks as you can, but then you get complacent. It's those little touches and, you know, additions that make it such a great game. And the fact that you have to stay with the ball means sometimes you're not going to get those power-ups. Well, maybe that's just me because I'm shit at it. I don't even know what that did. Did it just speed things up? Oh, fuck. Wait, there you go. On to the penultimate game, methinks. This is Bionic Commando, released in the arcade in 1987 by Capcom. It's a very interesting twist on the platform in the sense that you don't have a jump, you have a bionic arm to use to swing between platforms and to reach other platforms, and in some cases, well, hit your enemy with. You also have a gun. I think it was called Top Secret in Japan. It was released by Go, which was a subsidiary of US Gold on the Spectrum in 1988, and I believe it was developed by Software Creations, who did quite a few of their games, including Ghouls and Ghosts. I love the arcade game and I absolutely sucked at it, so this was another game when it came to the Spectrum I wanted to have a pop at. Right, now obviously it's got your traditional Spectrum graphics. You got used to them as a kid. Fire, duck, there you go, drop down, there you go, you can hit them but you don't kill them. That's where your gun comes in, but you have to get to the end of the screens. It's got that flip screen effect, but yeah, it's awesome. Oh fuck. Press down to drop when you're parachuting. But yeah, I loved it. A boring random fact, there was a comic strip based on computer characters in Eagle comic where it was called Computer Warrior, and each week you would get sucked into a computer game at like Quantum Leap style, and they were always US Gold games, and this was one of them. And yeah, I loved it because I loved the arcade game. Doesn't the Japanese version, it's called Top Secret, is it? You can get those with your claw. Are you fighting Nazis? Oh, those bats are bastards. But yeah, I like the graphics, but like oh shit, don't shoot the bee's nests. Oh, falling platform. I like the graphics, but again, I grew up with Spectrum. But yeah, it's just a very competent port. You know, a very interesting, well, like I said, interesting take on platformers. Damn it, why have I got an itchy nose? Don't want to scratch up my bionic arm, I'll rip my fucking face. Ooh, I saw you did that. Face off. You got the whole momentum thing, which makes you jump like that. That worked out a lot better than I thought it would, but it's a 128K version, so the music is amazeballs. Don't know if I want to go down there. No, that's a bit annoying. You can't see what's beneath you. But yeah, great conversion of an arcade machine. You really, once again, you really should have been able to convert on the Spectrum, but they did. Oh, I have to say, I'm not starting Playground Wars again either, but no you don't, he's going to come down. Prefer this to the NES version, but the NES version isn't a true port of the arcade game. And you're probably saying if you own a NES, well, neither is this, look at it. Yes it is, you're just mistaken. And besides, it's, oh, fucking balls. Ah. Besides, it's my top 10 and I'm put in there. I think this is an absolutely fantastic port of a great arcade machine. That I'm equally bad at both of them. Right, up. Again, you don't have a separate fire, up is your arm. Once you get used to it, and your full range of attacks, or the momentum and thrusting people with your arm, it's... Oh, range on my gun. It's brilliant. Can I try you like that? Apparently not. Yoink! No! Power up gun? Holy shit! Ah, well there you go, Bionic Commando. You know, another fantastic arcade port on the ZX Spectrum. One of my favourites, hence the fact that it's in this list. On to the final game. This is Kapow on the ZX Spectrum, my final entry in this top 10 list of great games you need to play, or great arcade conversions you need to play on the singular ZX Spectrum. An arcade machine released by TAD Corporation in 1988 and ported to the ZX Spectrum amongst other systems in 1989. Released by Ocean, but developed by Special Effects. Well, not a subsidiary, just a software house. They released, you know, their games under their brand. It's simultaneous two-player, well, one or two-player shoot them into the screen. Unlike Operation Wolf, there were two individuals running around at the bottom of the screen with movement, as well as stopping to control crosshair and shooting everything in the background. Bad guys using grenades, upgrading your weapon, and destroying pretty much all the scenery. I love this arcade game. That's what this list is about. I loved this arcade game back in the day, and once again, I absolutely sucked at it. So when this got released on the Spectrum, I was happy as a pig in shit. Right, let's get into this bad boy. Again, the fact that it could be two-player at the same time was really impressive. There's me, hold down fire, and then I move my crosshair. Hide behind the walls. Oh shit, I got shot. The bar at the bottom is actually the enemy's health, not mine. There's a rolling mechanic, but I don't know if you have it. Bigger gun. Look at that. If you have it. Oh, is he throwing a grenade in the home ports? But I love this. I still think this is really good graphics. Again, that's the Spectrum in me, you know, as a kid, and also the fact why I'm doing this gameplay. But it's just, it's supremely playable. It's got really good reviews. Grenade. Blow up houses. Yep. Oh, overinflate the housing market is what we're doing. But yeah, it just... I mean, look how many people are on the screen. Yes, chunky graphics, which I like. I mean, obviously came on everything. Came up with NES and stuff. But this is just a solid, lovely, tasty and delicious port. And to round up this video, what I loved about ports on the Spectrum, they didn't necessarily look like, but they felt like and played like, to some degree, the arcade game. And that's what made them a port. That's what made them good. And that's why I love doing these videos, and I still love playing these arcade ports. Mainly because I've got such nostalgia for playing the original games, and therefore being able to play them at home, the nostalgia translated, this is a wrap-up gameplay I guess, to, you know, the Spectrum. Grenade! I haven't got any grenades. I don't know why I'm still alive. Oh, they're not almost still alive. Look at the tanks. Yeah, it's just, it's a charm, isn't it? As I said, to round up, it's a feeling thing, isn't it? Whether it feels like the arcade, regardless of whether it looks like it or plays exactly like it, that's what makes it a great arcade port. Grenade, blow up the walls, and this is one of the best. Anyway, back to real life. So there you go. I hope that was kind of an eye-opener. As I said, take it with a pinch of salt. These are, you know, some of my favourites, but I think each and every one of those is truly a great game. So if you want to have, you know, an idea of, or just take some suggestions to what great arcade ports on the ZX Spectrum, try out any one of those bad boys. And also, you can definitely expect another one of these videos. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.